Gangsta Disciple founder Larry Hoover apparently got popped back in 1968, and this is the Chicago Tribune article detailing what he said to police. This is James Highsmith and Leonard Longstreet, the two men that Hoover said popped him and got arrested for it. 2 years later, Hoover would get revenge when he took out a 19-year-old, and 3 years after that, a 24-year-old was kidnapped. Now, the kidnapping victim was found unalive, and a witness to the kidnapping was set to testify against Hoover, but he was also found in an alley unalive with 2 wounds to the back of his head. These are the crimes that got a 23-year-old Larry Hoover taken off the streets of Chicago and sentenced to 200 years in state prison. He decided to run the gang from prison. The feds would come in and hit him with 6 life sentences. Now, Trump just got rid of that, but he still has to finish his state time. And right now, Larry Hoover isn't set to be released until 2066.
I think the reason he's not getting out is because while Trump pardoned him from the federal charges he had, the state charges that he have kind of overwhelm any of that. And I think he still got a 200-year sentence from what I saw, but who knows, man? Maybe he can get out at some point.
I want to talk to you guys about the most famous fake white Florida blood from Boston, 1090 Steaks, because he's back in the news. And this time he's facing backlash for trying to quote-unquote expose legendary Chicago gang leader Larry Hoover for being a rat. And this is really confusing because he just told creepy weirdo Vlad...
Hey, Adam, leave my nigga point and shoot alone. This nigga's hilarious. Bro, this nigga just called 1090 Jake 1090 Steaks.
TV that he's not exposing snitches anymore and that he's done with that.
Snitched or how does it work? That's why I don't even... The snitching videos is over with. Like I said, if
so that was obviously a lie, which is not surprising because Jake is a well-documented liar and storyteller and fraud. But I did want to talk about this new video that he made because it's so stupid. It's just a huge nothing burger. And it's obvious that he only put this video out because Larry Hoover has been in the news lately for getting pardoned by Donald J. Trump. And so this is a huge clout chase. And the documentation Jake uses is newspaper articles. It's not paperwork.
I never knew you could get paperwork that goes this far back, but this is a documented shooting that took place. And, you know, I have the news clippings in this video. Y'all can see it. Y'all can look it up for yourselves. It ain't a secret. It's been out for fucking 57 years. So
this 57-year-old newspaper clipping is the basis for Jake's expose. What? This is just a newspaper article, and it's quoting the police. It's not even, there's no narrative that's signed. It's not an affidavit. It's not a witness statement. This is a newspaper article. And the newspaper article basically says that Larry Hoover got shot by his rival gang members and he got hit in the legs and ended up telling on those people to the police from his hospital bed. Now, I do want everyone to understand that this is a newspaper article from the 1960s in Chicago, and it's the police that are being quoted. This is all just the police telling the newspaper what they say Larry Hoover said. There's no, it's just a bunch of nonsense. You know, the police in Chicago in the 60s was one of the biggest criminal organizations in America. What? You know, the corruption in the 60s with that department is insane. They're not credible at all, and I don't understand why we're even talking about this. And this shooting happened in the middle of the fucking day in the principal's office. What? There were witnesses everywhere. There were multiple bystanders that got hit. There were people telling people stuff all over the place. They picked the guys up minutes after they shot. These guys did not get arrested because of Larry Hoover. The cops are trying to put this on Larry Hoover to try to make him out as a snitch, I think. This is what happened because it just doesn't make sense that they've got these guys in custody minutes after, and then they go to the newspaper and try and attribute these arrests to like what Larry Hoover told them. Did Larry Hoover take the stand, by the way? Do we have anything that actually, I mean, is there any proof that Larry even said any of this, or are we just going off the cops' words? Because I think it needs to go a little bit further than that if we're going to be labeling someone like Larry Hoover a snitch. Okay, that's crazy. So 1090 Jake puts this video out and people are not happy about it. He's all over the blogs. People are reminding him that he is one of the most famous snitches in the world. What? And it's just not really going very well for him. His video flopped. It only got 150,000 in the first day. So the video is not performing well. It's not lucrative at all. And it's just so funny because he's put himself in a lot of danger for a lot, you know, not a lot of money. And as we all know, Jake has publicly stated that he only does that. He only exposes snitches in the interest of gaining money so that he can support his new relationship. What? And that's true. And so I want to play you this clip of 1090 Jake explaining that I don't care about any of this shit. I only really expose snitches because I need money.
I think people get it confused and they think that I genuinely give a fuck. I don't care.
You're just
YouTube
making content.
pays me, bro.
Yeah, this is your gig.
If I wasn't making money off of this shit, I wouldn't give a fuck.
For sure.
So he does this.
See, this is the problem with niggas like this. They make it seem like, oh, I want to be a part of the culture. This is my way of being in the culture, exposing the people of the culture that are snitches. And like, no, that is your way of being another snitch. You know, while Boston Richie told on his whole family, I feel like that clip was going to leak anyways. We don't need somebody out there to tell us, hey, this guy's a tattleteller. I know, just let it naturally happen. Like, you out here killing a lot of careers because, I mean, you're not putting allegations on them. You're actually bringing the paperwork and showing that, and that's fine and everything. But at the same time, it comes off very culture vulture-y. You know, it doesn't come off as if you care about the culture. It comes off as if you just do this for the money.
All for money. It's only in the interest of money. And I want to play you some more of this. This is really interesting. This is where it gets really sort of weird when Jake starts lying and then he starts contradicting himself mid-sentence almost. I mean,
I don't mind it. I don't mind a nigga or a wigger exposing all rats. Cool. Do that. But at least don't do it because you know that's what's going to get you out. Like, that comes off very snakish, and it comes like you yourself are a rat if that's what you want to call it.
It's really bizarre, and I want to show you this. So this next clip is going to show Bootleg Kev sort of check 1090 Jake on the fact that he's like sort of destroying people's lives by labeling them a snitch. And he asks Jake how he feels about that, and Jake pretty much denies that these people's careers are affected by his videos. He's like, nobody cares about when I do a video on somebody. Nobody gives a fuck about what I say. I'm just doing what I do so I can get some money.
Drop shit on people that have still maintained their career. Like
Boston Richie was one of your famous ones, right?
Yeah.
That affected his career negatively.
Like 6 days after that shit dropped, when I dropped that shit, he got signed for like $6 million.
True.
But still, it don't matter. To this day, niggas are calling him Boston Snitchy. Yeah, he has clout for now, but at a certain point, once the music ain't hitting, like, once we get tired of hearing the same old shit over and over and over again, I don't know if y'all noticed. That's what happens with most of these rappers. You know, it's fine at first, but once we get tired of it, that's going to come to a head. It's going to be like, okay, we don't like your music, and you told on your whole damn family. Like, that's a problem.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But a different example to that is Gunna. Gunna went up there, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, got out of jail, and his career is fine. Like, his career is A-okay. Why? Because he makes good music. Like, while I might think it's mediocre, he still makes good enough music to the people that love his music to go, hey, we can rock with him even though he told on Young Thug.
And it's like, people are still going to have their opinion on that. Like, oh, he gave fake names, whatever. And I can show you what name was real and what name, you know? But it's like, who gives a fuck?
So Jake says nobody gives a fuck. So that, okay, so what he's saying is that when he makes a video about someone labeling them a snitch and getting millions and millions of views and ruining their image, that no one cares about it and that it doesn't really affect the person's career. Now, I want you to pay attention to that. Jake says nobody cares. No one gives a fuck about this. So he's saying that when someone gets labeled a snitch, no one at the end of the day really cares, and that it's not, people are still going to listen to their music and everything else, right? Okay, so minutes later, Bootleg Kev asks Jacob if there was ever a time when he had paperwork on someone labeling them a snitch that he decided not to make a video about. And Jake says, yes, there is someone that I decided not to make a video about, even though they are a snitch. And listen to the reason why he didn't make the video.
Have you decided to not expose somebody for whatever reason, even though you have shit where you're like, maybe...
Yeah, I got a interrogation video on a big rapper.
Why haven't you dropped it?
Because I know what it's going to turn into. The thing is, I already know that who it is going to get a pass, so why do it?
Yeah, why stir up some shit?
Why stir up some shit that in a fucking, 2 weeks nobody's going to give a fuck about? And it's just going to cause me more of a pain in the ass than anything. It's like, I don't need the money that bad.
What the fuck did I just... So he's having trouble keeping up with his lies, isn't he? He just said that he doesn't mind putting the snitch label on people because at the end of the day, no one's going to care about it.
Shit, he got signed for like $6 million.
True.
So who gives a fuck? No, but it's like, who gives a fuck?
But then he says that he didn't expose Big Sad for being a snitch because no one would care about it. And it wouldn't be worth it because no one will care about it.
I already know that who it is going to get a pass, so why do it? Why stir up some shit that in a fucking, 2 weeks nobody's going to give a fuck about?
Then why are you exposing anyone at all? Why are you exposing Larry Hoover if no one cares about it? It's so stupid. So what the fuck is going on? And Bootleg Kev sitting here like, yeah. But what he's thinking is, man, this guy's stupid. And but he doesn't want to dig in. He's non-confrontational. This is probably why he has the #1 hip hop podcast on the West Coast, because he doesn't like dig into people and like really put people on the spot. But he knows that Jake sounds like a fucking idiot right here. So I just wanted to show you that. Now I do want to move on to this next clip. This is going to be 1090 Jake for the first time letting the world know that he is no longer a blood and that he has dropped his flag and he is an official dropout. Okay, this is really interesting. Look at this.
Like you brought up, I'm a white blood. None of that shit's on my Instagram anymore. All the pictures are taken down. All the fucking... Like I turned 30 and I was just like, this shit doesn't serve me, It made sense in prison. Brotherly love overriding oppression and destruction. I'm broke, you're broke. We come together, we eat.
Wow. So he says it only made sense for him to be a blood in prison because, whatever, I eat, you eat, we eat together. That's not what he's always he's always said that he was a blood long before he went to prison. But now he's like, it made sense in prison because I really had to show out. I had to show everybody that I was the biggest white boy in the... You know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense. I mean, and being a white blood in prison actually puts you in a worse position. It doesn't make sense at all to do that. So he's saying it made sense in prison. No, it didn't. And so Jake's not intelligent enough to actually go on an interview podcast and conduct himself because he's a liar and he can't keep track of his lies.
It made sense in prison. Brotherly love overriding oppression and destruction. I'm broke, you're broke. We come together, we eat. They want to fuck us up. Well, we're going to fuck them up together, Out here, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Why am I risking what I got going on to portray? I'm not out here sliding on shit, doing shit, So it doesn't make sense. And then not only that, but...
So what people need to understand about 1090 Steak is that he's a goof. What? He's a fucking goof. And he went to prison for a very short amount of time. He was a short timer. He spent like a matter of months, 36 months tops. And it was less than that,
You spent about 36 months in prison altogether?
It was less than that.
It was like 2 years and he couldn't hang. He was telling people that he wanted to, disalive himself so that he can get special treatment and get away from general population. This is something that he said.
So what I did is I took the razor and I cut myself with the razor. And I didn't like I didn't do nothing crazy. I'm literally nicking it, just, forming a long line, just nicking and then pinching my skin so it bleeds a little bit. I took a piece of paper and I wrote, I'm going to kill myself. I wiped my blood all over it. I stuck it on the window. I laid down on my back and I'm just bicycle kicking the door down. No, I want to kill myself. They put me in a psych cell, which is a pretty big size room. I got a suicide mat on the floor. This suicide mat, bro, is like the equivalent of a Tempur-Pedic. I don't know if you ever went psych, but this is the thickest, most comfortable mat. So I'm butt naked the whole 21 days in this. Like, I'm really trying to pull this whole psych thing. The whole state of Florida, the psych units were basically on lockdown because they were overpopulated. They couldn't accept any more people, so no one could go. So I wasted my time doing this whole thing. I never got sent anywhere.
Wow. So Jake went to great lengths and did everything he could think of to get himself separated away from all of his blood partners. What? He wanted to get shipped off to the puzzle factory to hang out with all the J-Cats and the weirdos. So I'm just wondering.
I mean, as far as we can tell, is what we can notice from here is that this wigger only does it for the benefit. He'll be a blood only for the benefit of what he needs to. I mean, that's the thing. Like, he doesn't even have any true paperwork.
Yeah, like, who the fuck is you?
Like, he doesn't even have any real paperwork to like show that Larry Hoover is doing what he was doing. That's what's going on in this video. Like, all he has is a newspaper clipping of a police report that a police put out, and that's probably not even the case because they was trying to pin Larry Hoover before ever did. Mother 3 says Sam's cap, he would have dropped it, exactly. If he had a big name person, he would have already put it out there. This is how he gets paid. Yep. is exactly how he gets paid. And then he, like I said, he only do it for the benefit of him. And then I guess the well was running dry because he fucking stopped for a minute. He fucking stopped for a minute. So he's basically like crabs in a barrel mentality right now. He's fishing for anything. Yeah.
Where it all made sense for him to, get all these tattoos and all this shit. He's not a blood. He's just a normal guy that moved from Malden, Massachusetts down to Florida, where he burglarized his own family and got sent to youth prison for a very short amount of time. He was not institutionalized. He was not it didn't change him in any way. He just used this to tell stories and make money on YouTube. What? And he's losing interest in this persona because this new girlfriend that he has wants him to be a country boy. She wants him to, wear jeans and shit kickers and wear a cowboy hat and comb his hair and everything. This is this new direction that Jake's going with his career. He's going to be a country boy.
I'm good. How you doing?
Yo, it's crazy like seeing you without a hat. Like
Wiggers like this could just switch over whatever they want to. Post Malone could go from making White Iverson to just be, I don't really like rap music that much. I just use it to get on. Like we don't have Beyonce try, but that's what we said. You have to be fucking Beyonce to do that.
I even give Machine Gun Kelly a pass because he rapped for like 10 plus years.
Yeah.
He came up rapping.
But he's doing like punk rock now. But my thing is, Wayne transformed over to rock at a certain point when he did Rebirth. But it was good. Like if you're gonna do rock music, it got to be good.
He rapped over rock music.
And then that's the thing too. Like Machine Gun Kelly is a talented rapper, although he did lose to Eminem. Talented rapper. But it's, yeah, there's a long list of niggas, pop stars. Everybody lost to him. Eminem is, think about it. Kendrick Lamar had like the craziest year last year. The craziest year. These niggas at the AMAs still gave the fucking best male hip hop award to Eminem.
Eminem didn't even do shit this year.
He dropped the album. He dropped, but it wasn't on the scale of what Kendrick was, the Kendrick Drake and all that shit. So, yeah.
So you got them niggas from like the 90s that still listen.
Look,
you got that white demographic too.
for the longest, I thought Eminem was the GOAT. For the longest.
No, yeah. When I was younger,
I still think he's top 5. Like, still think he's top 5.
If I need a hit song, I'm going to Drake, Eminem, because I know my shit gonna do numbers with them.
Yeah.
Niggas gonna listen to my shit no matter what the fuck I'm saying. They listen to for Drake and Eminem because them niggas just got that star power.
Yeah, true. True enough.
Like if you doing R&B, you trying to get Beyonce or like somebody in that realm.
Yeah. But at the same time, I guess the fact that Eminem still stayed true to whatever core. Like that's what I always commend him for. He never he might have like transformed over, like, okay, I'm not just gonna do hippity hop all the time, I'm gonna do rock music. Like it might have been a different type of style he was rapping over, but at least he was still rapping and saying he was still like, no, I'm hip hop. Like this is what I love. This is my passion. So yeah, Wiggers like that we respect. Wiggers like 1090 Steak.
The last few interviews I've seen, I'm like, yo, you like without the tattoo.
Post Malone makes good music, but
yeah, I fuck with Stoney. I fuck with Stoney real heavy.
Yeah, that was a good album.
Yeah, that's probably his best album.
Dudes, like, you know what I mean? Like, you look like you could sell mortgages, bro.
Yeah, you think so? I had people saying that shit the other day. They were like, yeah, you really white boying it right now.
Super white boy. Yeah.
It's Jake is actually trying to go country now because of his girlfriend Haley, and it's really interesting to watch. It's extremely cringe. If you go to his Instagram, he's always posting stories of her and what they're doing, and he's always doing some pathetic ass shit. Please go follow 1090 Jake on Instagram. It's really interesting. And I've actually got a full episode. I think it's like a 2-hour fucking episode on Patreon about his relationship with his girlfriend. I encourage people to go check that out. And I'll actually play you a clip. Actually, I want to start here. No Jumper. So 1090 Jake went on No Jumper and was talking about how disgusting his toes are and how pussy and bloody they were in prison. And I was like, oh my God, he's got disgusting fucking toes.
My toenails were fucking infected from the last prison because of the small ass boots they gave me. So my shit bleeding, pussing, I can't walk. Medical basically told me to go fuck myself. They're not treating me until I get to the next spot. So I can't move, I can't run.
Did y'all see Drew?
I'm basically stationary. So when I get hit, I turn around. I'm like, all right, let's go blade for blade.
So I've always held on to this memory of hearing about Jake's disgusting toenails. And so the other day when I was watching his Instagram, he was posting a story about him and Haley, and they were going kayaking. And we actually got to take a look at these toes, and I want to show you this. Look at that.
know that ain't red. Red ass, man. Red, man.
No, I'm chilling. I'm posted up. I'm posted up, bro. Y'all boy come shot, man. I ain't on shit.
Straight up, man.
Tell them on.
Jit right here, man.
Tell 'em
I'm
on.
ready to jit right here, man. You know what's
See, I grew up with my grandma.
Yeah.
See, folks always tell me like, you a white boy, you can't be doing all that. I grew up on that side.
On that side, yeah.
But I was raised by these folks. I grew up with white folks, but I was raised in the dope hole.
In the dope hole, man.
I was
Straight
raised
up,
in
man.
the dope hole.
I witnessed it with my own eye, man. For real, man. Changing diapers, man. Walking around with pull-ups.
I'm thinking about another lane.
Okay.
Another, gotta, you know what I'm saying? I know this thing. Another.
I know what you mean about it.
I ain't said though.
Him and Hardy C. They got us in the video for everything.
It's my hood.
You got the money for it.
12, man. I'm tripping. Get out of here, man. Pull back on the mom, dude. I'll meet you back, bro. What the hell y'all cook for dinner?
Preston, stop talking like that.
You were raised better than that.
Why y'all tripping like that? Y'all
Stop. That's enough. That is enough.
Oh,
Come on, now.
Damn.